Welcome, everyone. One and only to the one and all. Just going to read off a couple, short paragraphs that I've written. So, we all feel the same feelings, often, of course, through different experience. Is this not the Godhead in action? Some of the most ancient teachings spoke of Godhead, which is the idea that we are all God experiencing themselves through a different mask. Connecting thread, all different threads, one whip. Different droplets, same ocean. All falling apples, product of the same tree. The ocean feeling that ripple from, the same individual drop. The same as the separate apples falling from the same tree. Through hearing each other out, we heal together. We break normalcies, you know, uh, societal expectations. We break recycled hurt. We assimilate and blend, ultimately blurring the lines that have been drawn, much like the borders around our countries, now around our own estate. The physical and spiritual separation begins to disappear when we don't see any separation from us and everything that created the universe. No more of this bureaucratic static and this whole chalk line that they drew around our country and around our own states. Separate religions, they can be seen. We need not to, identify with individuals whenever we speak of these things, because often a lot of the aggression or the need to argue comes from something outside of the idea itself. It's usually based off of someone who was within this group or ideology that kind of tampered it and made it something negative. This could be said about a lot of things, and I'm not going to waste my time bringing up. Okay, but separate religions, they can be seen not as, you know, mere separate ideologies, but, not to design arguments and not to go to war over who's right or wrong or whose God is stronger, but, you know, it opens a table for the idea that yes, we are all gods and we can all coexist with our own concepts, much like the different yogis and different, gods of our past that we know about. They're all archetypes to represent aspects of the human nature ourselves. It's just the idea of the soul's presence in each culture, in each mountain, in each breath, each individual. It's a prescripted blueprint for a reason to believe that we can all coexist. The human race was once just human beings being kind, the humankind. Yeah, that kind. We can have all that within one's own conceptual understanding. Break us down to elements, fractals, whatever you want, the hues that we are, the things that make up the universe that eventually made us. Without those things, we wouldn't have it. So the same with the people around us and their individual concepts. We wouldn't have been brought to our own knowledge that we think brings us so higher above everybody else. So just as these fractals and empty spaces, we could zoom in on it forever as if it was a map on Google and it would never stop. And constantly change colors and there'd just be pixels and distortion. That's us. We don't need help distorting it. We are the genes of Genesis. Genes is Gen is I don't know, but we're birthed and expanded out the same way as the level of life that we have the opportunity now to co-create with. Archetype or architect. You don't need any of this to validate yourself. You don't need to return to me for me to help validate you. I will, but nobody can tell you what you know. And they definitely shouldn't use their knowledge to break you down. That's an immediate reason for you to dismiss and refer to self. I map this landscape to know the world that I inhabit. I spiraled in intention just to learn that sacred geometry of the heart, hoping to redirect its trajectory from the course that it's on. So there's still hope. We're not destined for destruction. We never were. Only if you think so. Things get fucked up really bad, but never beyond repair and never so far that you can't bring yourself back. That is what I like to think. So I found that light at the end of the tunnel. I absorbed it just to bring it back, to share it with others who still feel convinced that theirs has died. Knock on what? Your opinion is the only thing that ever held you back. Not the way that they felt, only the way that you let their opinion make you feel. Instinct or intuition, this is naturally given. Right and wrong collectively can be understood without discussion. Certain things, these certain topics. I think, for example, I'm not going to use anymore, but I think pedophilia. Something we can all agree it's just not cool. Right? Well, we don't need to mention that. Shouldn't have to. But this is the start of the rebuild here, guys. We're working on self. If you're not a pedophile, don't take that to heart. Okay, so right and wrong collectively is understood without the need for discussion. We send ourselves into a lower vibration whenever we feel the need to argue these things. Trying to have our peace heard rather than saving our peace. Especially when we're talking to somebody who's actively trying to misunderstand us. With your actions, let worries pass like clouds on a windy day. Know that doubt, it exists simply for your awareness, not to torment you, but to remind you that you are still a conscious being. So much, find content in discontent. So much so that your reflection begins to twitch. Be blessed, be kind, be you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the one and only and the one and all. Alright, today we're going to deep dive into a fascinating blend of history, drama, and technology with a special focus on Nikola Tesla and his incredible life. As explored in the Jeffrey Stanley play, Tesla's Letters. So buckle up as we take you on a journey through time, invention, and the impact of technology on our world today. Okay, first let's set the stage. Tesla's Letters is a semi-autobiographical drama by Jeffrey Stanley, if you will. It premiered in 1999. It is not just a, biographical on Tesla's life, but also, it's a reflection on the tumultuous history of Yugoslavia as of the 1990s. The story follows an American grad student who finds herself caught in an ethnic rivalry. An American grad student who finds herself in the middle of ethnic rivalries that ended up leading to the breakup of Yugoslavia. But how did we get here? Let's check the timeline. Yugoslavia was formed after World War I, but in the early 1990s, it was breaking apart into 6 independent nations. Bosnia, Herz, sorry, Herzegovina. Okay, Herzegovina. Wow, that's quite the word. Sorry if I butchered that to anybody who was there. Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Siberia. See, this breakup was fueled by the ethnic tensions uh, and historical grievances of the time, which a crucial understanding is necessary for the backdrop of Stanley's play. Let's shift gears here. Uh, talk about the man at the center of the story, Mr. Nikola Tesla. Born in 1856, now, you know, sorry, not now. Born in 1856 in what was Croatia, Tesla was a brilliant inventor and a visionary, of course, of his time. And I mean, just to our world as it is, arguably one of the most incredible minds of all time. His contributions to electrical engineering and technology are monumental. But what makes him tick? Let's explore this personality of his. Very unique personality and quirks. Tesla was known for his eccentricities. Tesla was known for his eccentric nature. He had fear of pearls. He preferred to work alone and was a strict vegetarian. He once famously said, "The present is theirs. The future for which I really worked is mine." The present, the present is theirs, but the future for which I really worked for is mine. This quote encapsulates, his forward-thinking mindset. Tesla's inventions like alternating current systems and the radio, they were revolutionary, but his life was also marked by struggles and rivalries, of course, particularly the infamous War of the Currents between the famously, you know, the famously projected fucking Thomas Edison, who was all about profit. So how does all this, tie into Tesla's life and the letters of Tesla? The play not only highlights Tesla's genius, but it also reflects the chaos of the world that was going on around him. Stanley uses Tesla's letters as a narrative, uh, a device to explore the themes of isolation, of identity, and the quest for knowledge amidst conflict. Through the eyes of the American grad student, we see how the past continues to shape the present. The play serves as a reminder of how technology can both connect and divide us. It's a poignant exploration on how legacy of a brilliant mind like Tesla's can be overshadowed by turmoil and human conflict. To wrap up, Tesla's letters is more than just historical drama. It's a reflection of the human condition and the impact of technology on our lives. If you're interested in exploring these themes further, I highly recommend checking out the play yourself and diving into Tesla's incredible inventions. Thanks for joining me here today. If you enjoyed this video, come check back in for the future for more content. From the one and only to the one and all, be blessed, be kind, be you.